What's up, guys, and welcome to part 2 of the COD World at War Retrospective. Today we're going to start with the third mission, Hard Landing. Continuing as Private Miller, your squad has made their way into the nearby jungles, where several surprises await.
Poor bastard must have been shot down this morning.
Fuselage is still smoking. Check for survivors.
He's all snarled up on something. Shit! Grenade!
Gotta love playing on Veteran. So after triggering a booby-trapped plane, your squad is brutally ambushed by a Japanese patrol.
Everyone move! Go! Go!
Take that position!
I'm on it! Shit! They're closing in!
After fighting them off, you then raid a nearby Japanese encampment, complete with bunkers and trenches. And soon after, you get the flamethrower for the first time. Now the fun really begins.
Miller, get the plate forward and finish the job! Burn those MPs, don't let up! Get out of there! Okay, move up!
And for a game from 2008, the graphics and presentation have aged really well. Little details like the Japanese soldiers slowly crawling away while being burned alive really show how terrible war actually is.
What's the skinny?
On the 7th came in from the north! They're trying to get their tanks onto the airfield, but it's a nightmare over there! Tojo's holding tight! We're pinned down by the MG fire from the 2nd floor! Any ideas, Sergeant?
Yeah! Supply truck, get ahead! Miller, Polonsky, follow me! We're nearly there, keep it together! One last push and we take the airfield!
Whatever you need!
And now we begin an assault on the Japanese-held airbase ahead of us. For the end of the mission, we finally get our hands on the famous bazooka, and then go to work blowing up Japanese tanks.
One down, keep it up, Miller! Damn good work!
And now for the next mission, we see a complete tone change. Now we travel from the beaches of the Pacific to the cold landscape of Russia. Starting off in the town square, you see a whole squad who has just been completely massacred around you.
Ravages Europe like a plague. The relentless drive into our motherland steals the lives of men, women, and children alike. The arrogance of their leaders is matched only by the brutality of their soldiers. These are the darkest days of the Nazi occupation of Stalingrad.
If there's one criticism of the game's story I could make, it's that the narrative often jumps a little bit too much. The setting is constantly jumping from one location to the next, and some of the missions can take place years apart. However, this mission coming up is one of my absolute favorites in not just this game, but the entire series. The greatest thing that this scene does is the idea of showing rather than telling. Instead of simply telling you that your squad was murdered through walls of text, Treyarch let you soak in the carnage around you. After returning to your senses, Reznov, one of COD's most famous characters, hands you a rifle. From there you begin to make your way throughout Stalingrad, taking out any Nazis you find along the way. Shortly thereafter, you get into an intense firefight with an enemy sniper.
Only wounded him! Good hunting! The patrols will surely have heard those shots.
Sure enough, the patrol did hear those shots, and soon you are engaged in what is one of the most frustrating parts of this entire level. I am playing on veteran, but I probably died 15 to 20 times in this section.
Stay low! Try not to breathe!
After fighting through what feels like the entire Nazi army, you finally get a shot at Reznov's target the entire mission, General Amsel.
Burning truck! You are a true monster! The Red Army's advance into Germany is swift and brutal. In mere months, we have reached Silo Heights, the last line of defense before the German capital. We outnumber the Germans 10 to 1. Wave upon wave of our infantry are unleashed upon them to clear the way for our armor. Once we have control of Silo, we will begin the march to Berlin. There, we will ensure that every sacrifice is repaid in blood.
And this is what I meant by the narrative jumping places sometimes. All of a sudden, we're 3 years into the future in 1945, and the Red Army has already invaded Germany.
Kommt, lasst uns hier verschwinden, bevor sie nochmal angreifen.
Töten wir sie! Genau wie diese dreckigen Schweine.
Was?
Nur billigen Plunder, der sie wohl an ihre Heimat erinnern sollte.
Nein! Großes Schwein, du hättest wieder tot bleiben sollen!
Was ist das?
Dmitri! Finish those rats! Once again, you cheat death. Our tanks are ready to smash this line and... Turn off! I'm not hearing gunshots.
There is no point, Sergeant. They are already bleeding to death.
Then maybe our friend will help them bleed faster.
If Reznov isn't the coolest human on Earth, I don't know who is. And after a smooth rescue by him, you're off to murdering Nazis once again. And this mission is back to the usual wallet warfare. rather than crawling through the streets using stealth and sniping Germans at strategic points. In this mission, you just run through the fields and take them out as you go. And while it certainly isn't a bad mission, there's not too much of note that happens during it. At first, you fight through some fields until you reach this sort of town-village area, and then you get a Panzerschreck, and it has you take out, I believe, 4 tanks.
Though we've taken the airfield, the enemy still hold on to most of the inland areas of the island. A maze of trenches and artillery positions run right through this whole godforsaken rock. The enemy's dug in deep, and we have to get our hands dirty. Flamethrowers. We'll burn them out.
Now back to the American campaign. Miller and the gang find themselves in the middle of some intense trench warfare. Grenade after grenade is thrown your way, and there are snipers in just about every tree. While it's a solid mission on lower difficulties, it's an absolute bear on veteran. Probably my least favorite mission so far. Upon clearing the final mortar emplacement, you'll probably consider yourself an expert at clearing trenches. But alright guys, I'll probably leave off here for part 2 of this retrospective. As always, if you liked the video, please leave a like and a subscribe. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later on the World at War retrospective.